Mid-Murray Council would like to acknowledge and pay respect to the traditional custodians of the land, the Ngadjuri, Nawal, Nangaraku, Ngartat, Ngarrindjeri and Taranaki peoples of the Mid-Murray lands and waters. It is upon their ancestral lands and waters that the Mid-Murray Council meets and operates, and Council pays respect to elders past and present and their spiritual beliefs that are of continuing importance to those First Nations peoples of today. Council further acknowledges the contributions and important role that First Nations peoples continue to play within the community, and we extend that respect to any peoples in attendance here today. Emergency procedures. Should there be a fire or other emergency, the alarm will sound and you'll be asked to follow directions of staff. Council meetings are live streamed through the Mid-Murray Council website. Attendance and participation in the council meeting does not provide any councillors, council employees or member of the public protection from defamation in relation to behaviour or statements made. Individual opinions or statements made during the council meetings are not the opinions or statements of council. A copy of today's agenda is available on the council's website. Members are reminded if they intend to move, second or speak or ask a question during the meeting, they need to clearly indicate their intention to speak by using the microphone system. It's important that members use their microphones appropriately so that those at home hear clearly. Members are reminded that the use of mobile phones during the meeting is not permitted, and I ask that you turn your phones off or to silent. Welcome to the visitors in the gallery. It's great to see a few people here today. Can you please observe the meeting in a respectful silence as the Chamber deliberates on matters that relate to Mid-Murray Council. Council meetings are formal meetings that are subject to specific meeting procedures. This means that there are designated sections of the meeting, like deputations, where members of the public can directly interact in the meeting, with the remainder of the meeting only providing the public with an opportunity to listen to the meetings in an observer role. But thank you very much for coming. Attendance. We have apologies from Councillor Hammond and Dave Hassett, the Director of Infrastructure and Field Services. And we have Laura Watson online for our governance advice. Thank you, Laura, for coming. Okay, confirmation of minutes. That the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 16th of December 2025 be taken as read and confirmed. We have a mover. Councillor McGregor, thank you. Councillor Barber, thank you. Does anybody wish to speak on that? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour and against, carried. Business adjourned is nil, deputations are nil and petitions are nil. So 9.1, the recommendation is the monthly financial report.
Declaration. Sorry.
Oh, declaration.
Sorry. You're back. Sorry, thanks everyone.
Declaration of interest. Pursuant to Division 1 in Part 4 of Chapter 5 of the Local Government Act 1999, council members are to disclose general or material conflicts of interest in relation to items of business within this agenda. Just go around the room, just see if we look at the declaration. Hang on.
Cool. Yeah. Sorry. Thank you. I will declare a material conflict of interest on 11.2.
Okay, now we can do the 9.1. Recommendation is the monthly financial report, September 25 report on the council agenda be received. We're going to move up for that. Councillor Myers, thank you. Councillor Peak is seconding that. Thank you. Councillor Myers, do you wish to speak on that?
Annie, good job.
Excellent.
Good report.
Thank you. Councillor Peak, anything to say?
Through there, thank you. I just wondered whether we have any more information on the depreciation costs associated with the buildings and land valuation.
Yeah, just through the chair, we're just finalising the revaluations at this moment with the external auditors. So once that's been reviewed by them, in the September budget review, the actual depreciation for the revaluations will be included. Yeah.
Thank you. But just on the rates arrears, I know it's a long, slow process that we have to go through, But I was just wondering whether, we've seen it's great that there's going to be an auction of those who aren't dealing with us about their arrears. And I think that, one of the things we could do is a really big promotion that that's what we're doing, so that people understand that we now have that capacity. We don't want to do it, but we now have that capacity. If people are disadvantaging all the other ratepayers, I'm in their share.
Through Mayor Bailey, so yeah, we've developed a media release, finalising that, and that'll be distributed today because the advertisements for those 9 properties will occur next Monday, I think it is, the 27th. So we'll make sure that we leverage off that and promote it. Look, it's a double-edged sword because there'll be people in the community that aren't supportive of what we're doing, and then there'll be people that are very supportive of the circumstances. So we'll need to manage that from a risk perspective as well. But the media release will most likely go out today.
Councillor Green.
Yeah, just through the chair. I've already sort of spoken to Clive and I think the reevaluation will affect this, but the September review, we're waiting because of the reevaluation to get that budget review. Is that correct?
So through the chair, we're not waiting as part of the process. So our September budget review goes to the audit risk committee and then comes to council.
Yeah.
So we're not, that's just a normal process.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
So just through the chair, it's probably just like to mention that not only we've had several groups of assets being revalued, which obviously increases the amount of depreciation expenses, but for the first time we have prepared the financial accounts and also indexed the values of assets which have been revalued not in the previous years to ensure that our depreciation expense is up to date and has realistic not only balance sheet values in the asset part, but also realistic depreciation expense in the operational area as well.
Thanks, Lauren. Councillor Schultz.
I just had one question on the sale of replacement assets, as in plant. It says there's $81,000 under budget for one particular thing. What item of plant trade-ins caused the $81,000 deficit?
Yeah, so previously, council's been a little bit in arrears as far as the purchase and also the sale of replacement assets. We haven't actually budgeted for specific items. What we do is take the total amount of the plant machinery and basically spread that evenly across each month. So that's the average for basically the 3 months versus the year-to-date budget.
Okay.
Thank you, Clive. Any further questions, comments or discussion on this item? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that is carried. 9.2. The recommendation is the drought assistance report on the council agenda of 21st of October be received. Due to the current drought conditions and the financial impact these conditions are having on primary producers, all ratepayers that have previously been approved for the deferral of the payment of rates on the 5th of December 2025 under the drought financial relief be automatically approved to have their rate payments deferred and deferral extended to 6th of March 2026. With these properties being notified of the deferral extension. B, ratepayers of properties that have undertaken, they have a primary production land use and the predominant activity being undertaken is the running of a business of plant or animal cultivation may apply for deferral of rates until the 6th of March 2026. C, from the date of approval of an application, interest and fines will be waived up until the 6th of March 2026. And we've just got an alteration to
Discussion.
D. Any legal action for outstanding rates where the property has a primary production land use will be suspended until after 6th of March 2026. or there's another option. Any legal action for outstanding rates and sundry debtors, standpipe water purchases, where the property has a primary production land use will be suspended until after 6th of March 2026. And then 3, the CEO or their delegate be authorised to assess and where appropriate authorise the applications for the rates deferral under council's drought financial relief. So just, yeah, maybe explain.
Just through the chair, offer the motions for consideration. It came up in discussions around the intent of this, which was around rate deferral. But the legal component, when we mentioned legal, that's when our debt collection agency sends out letters about rates, but also those primary producers potentially that use standpipes may have a sundry debtor that they haven't paid. And so that then could potentially say that we suspend that as well. So we just wanted to table that with the councils for their consideration. The intent of this was around rates. So that's where that first option was, where we specify it's only to do with rates that we suspend, versus if council's intention is to also suspend that action around potentially sundry debtors, then we would add sundry debtors in there as well. Clive, do you want to add anything else on that?
No, I think it's clear. It's just that, yeah, it wasn't quite clear, you know, whether that part D was just for rates or not. It didn't really, there wasn't verification enough in that part. So we've given alternatives that, is it just for rates or is it for rates and sundry debtors as far as property produce is concerned?
Thanks, Clive. And have we got somebody that wants to make a motion? Just let me know which part of the motion you'd like to move. Bring those yellow stuff on. So basically, do you want to include standpipe water or just rates? Councillor Schultz?
Yeah, I'll move that it's just the rate because not all primary producers would use standpipes.
Okay, so we're using the first D that was on the list. Just read it out again. Any legal action for outstanding rates where the property has a primary production land use will be suspended until after the 6th of March 2026. Do we have a seconder for that whole motion? Thank you, Councillor Myers. Councillor Schultz, do you wish to speak on this motion?
Well, I've got a few questions and it might take a while. The first question is, are the 139 properties that have applied and been approved? You say that's 5.5%. Is that of the applications received that was approved?
Just with chair, that's the total amount of a percentage of the total amount of property producers only applied.
Well, according to the ABS statistics for agriculture, forestry, fishing, at the end of June 2024, it says 338.
I'm not sure your statistics. That's probably the number of primary producers. We're talking about the number of primary produce properties.
Yeah.
So you're probably talking like the entities versus the number of primary producers properties. Yeah. So yeah. Normally, one primary producer will have several properties or assessments.
So is that candidate one?
So in my report, I'm saying each property.
That has a categorisation of primary production
And
from a council perspective.
as in each parcel of land, not a farm
Each rate's
entire.
notice, basically.
Right,
Yeah.
Not a farming
Yeah, yeah,
enterprise as such, the individual properties.
Right.
So yeah, you divide that probably by 4 or 5 to get the number of entities.
Yeah, yep, that makes sense. Sorry. I'll try not to take too long. Were the applications concentrated in any particular geographical location? And I ask this because rainfall has been patchy in recent years and some districts are better off than others.
Unfortunately, I can't give you that. I would actually have to go back and look at the individual applications.
Right. And then just when I first read this about waiving the legal action for properties that have primary production land use. Is that how long does that go back to? Because I mean, prior to, you know, so the last couple of years when everyone's feeling the pinch, the longer, the primary producers that have been in desperate straits for a longer time, they could use the hardship policy. Whereas, I mean, I'm just wondering how far back you're going for the legal exemption.
Yeah, just so for the chair, there's several different stages of legal proceedings. So what we've done is we've actually suspended all, didn't matter what stage it is, we've actually just suspended away. So, you know, so if you go to the extremes, you could have just a collection letter, a letter from the collection agency saying that, you know, we've been instructed by council, and that's to recover the debt which is outstanding. That's the first stage, and then you have several other ones which could be a court. You could have a warrant of arrest. You could have a stage where they get a notice served by the sheriff, etc. So, so what we've done, doesn't matter where the property is along that stage of collection, we've just suspended all action at the stage. So then that's on the precinct that yeah, we've gone through some extraordinary times, drought. So all farmers are under some type of duress. That would have been the best course. I think it would have been a bit arbitrary of council to continue with some just because of a certain date that council had decided from a certain date. If we hadn't started legal actions, we wouldn't start, and others which were partway through, we'd continue on. That would be a bit inconsistent, I think.
Gonna make it too messy in other words.
Thank you. Councillor Myers as a seconder, do you wish to speak on the motion?
No, I think we've cleared most of that.
Thank you. Councillor McGregor.
Just through the mayor, I just wanted to ask, out of the the land that we're recouping for unpaid rates, is there any of them that are primary producer? No, so
No,
it's
there's
not
no.
included in that, so that's
No.
okay. No, that's fine. And just to, so the indication is that the local or the government's not going to come in and offer anything. Is that the feeling from the report, that we're not going to get the government coming and saying, we're going to help?
Through Mayor Bailey, as per Clive's report, Clive contacted the LGA, thing prior to writing the report, definitely prior to writing, in the last couple of weeks. And the indication was there wasn't a lot of traction on the proposal from the LGA. Primary producers had come up with an alternative proposal. Obviously, the Algae Bloom is front and centre at the moment. So our indication, we can't guarantee anything, but that there wasn't a lot of progress, and that's expected.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, what we've found so far is if you don't all get on the same page and ask for the same thing,
yeah, it's
very hard to get something to help. So that's what we need to do. And I've been advocating for the change of that. Any further questions or discussion on this item? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that is carried. One, the recommendation is the infrastructure and field services summary report on the council agenda be received. We have a mover for that. Councillor Barber, thank you. Councillor Broadhurst, thank you. Councillor Barber, do you wish to speak on that?
Through the mayor, I've just had a couple of, or one question and comment. Bo, who represents the community, is very happy with the result down there. So I've got two questions. Dave not being here, I'm not sure he's going to be able to answer them, but I was asked a question about the location of the Swan Reach standpipe, and I noticed in the report that there is consideration for that to be relocated. Is that definitely going to happen, or
Sorry, those absence items take that actual notice.
And just my other question was, has there been a maintenance agreement finalised with the Global Progress Association regarding the riverfront?
For Red Valley, I understand, I know there's been discussions, negotiations, I'm not sure whether it's actually been finalised, so I'll have to come back to you on that one. Yeah, that's as well.
Thank you, and it is a great result. You know, and really watching the community capacity grow through that process has been amazing. Councillor Warhurst, you were seconding, no? Anybody else wish to speak on the questions? Councillor Schultz and Councillor please.
On page 29 of the report, it says consultation of rollout of standpipe automation. I'm just wondering, could the fact sheet contain specific information on recharging funds on the swipe cards, so the card holders don't try to transfer funds to their card at the local post office, because that would be a nightmare for those people?
Thank you. Take that on notice. And we'll check your feet.
Yes, this is more of a comment really. I was just looking, I mean, it's a phenomenal report. Sorry Dave's not here. It's a unbelievable report, so useful. Just on the cost of the road repairs. So I just did a rough, not being into counting at all. 75, something over $75,000 per average per kilometre of road it's costing us. And I think that's just worth noting when you think of the amount of roads we've got. Unbelievable. That's all. Thank you.
Very good point, and I, you know, throughout that stat, when I talk to people about our roads, is we're gonna have free payers, free race payers compared to one of our roads being there. It's a big job. I think we took that. Any further questions, comment or discussion on the report? The motion, if not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that is carried. 10.2. I am not going to read this out, the recommendation, because it is big, so I'll take it as read. There's no changes to it. Have we got a mover for that? Councillor Barber, thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Touchin-Pick, thank you. Councillor Barber, you wish to speak on that?
Through the mayor, yeah, look, like a lot of large community events we have, it's a great family event, and I think it's important that council supports it to whatever capacity that we are able to.
Councillor Touchin-Pick.
Yeah, I just had a question. The cost to council, great event, totally support it, but the cost to council of around 16,000 is that right? And that's a fair bit higher than most other events that we support. I just wonder whether that's typical each year.
From memory, it is. It's only Christmas pageants and Anzac Day services that we fully support. Track and you've shown, as you know, the Progress Association pays for those road closures. So it's something in our policy that says that's what we're going to support. But it probably is something with what. Any further questions, comments, or anyone wishing to speak on the motion? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that's carried. 10.3. The recommendation is the Race Free Dragon Boat SA Regional Marine Challenge event application report on the council agenda be received. Approval be granted to allow the Manning Dragon Boat Club to hold their dragon boat event in a portion of the Manning Waters Marina on Saturday, the 1st of November 2025, subject to the general conditions of council's major event permit, and the CEO be authorised to make minor amendments to event logistics as required. Do we have a member? Councillor McGregor and Councillor Myers is seconding that. Councillor McGregor, do you wish to speak? No. Councillor Myers? No. Anybody else wish to speak or have questions? I'll have feedback. If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Against? That is carried. Thank you. That will be exciting to see of evidence. 10.4. The recommendation is that the Novita Mighty River Run event application report on the council agenda be received. Approval be granted to allow Novita to occupy the Young Husband Riverfront Reserve on Wednesday, the 12th of November 2025, subject to the general conditions of council's major event permit, and the CEO be authorised to make minor amendments to the event conditions as if required. We have a mover for that one, councillor Gregor, thank you, councillor Patrick, thank you, councillor Gregor, do you wish to speak?
Just through the mayor, I just wanted to say this event, which has been going for quite some time, and started when we were managing caravan park, and I just know the media, the organisation sort of raising money for an event. It's a really good thing, and they're not asking much from us.
Thank you. You have such a speak. You wish to speak? No, anybody else wish to speak? Have questions, comments? Councillor Barber?
Just through the mayor, my query, I guess, and it's not for anyone here to ask, is I'm just not sure how they're gonna have their lunch catered as the shop opens for many years, and there's not really much else at Young Husband to cater unless they're getting one.
They normally self-cater.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of their big events, they got their own catering crew that.
They've got their own caravans and probably can sort of all those sort of things.
Very good, thank you. Any further questions, feedback, discussion? If not, put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that is carried. 11.1, the recommendations is the Development and Community Services Activity Report on the council agenda be received. We have a mover. Councillor Schultz, thank you. Councillor Barber, thank you. Councillor Schultz, you wish to speak on that?
First, an excellent report with the read, but I do have a question. It's probably a silly one. On page 101, the wall gutter replacement says ongoing, and it says gutters replaced, awaiting fascia repairs and painting. Or I'm not a builder or anything, but my husband usually paints and repairs the fascia before the new gutters get put on.
Possibly it would have caused more damage while waiting. Councillor Barber, do you wish to speak on that?
Just through the mayor, a very detailed report. I spent a lot of time running through it, and I was actually waiting for the end of the report to come along. But yes, a very good detailed report.
Thank you.
Thank you, councillor Barber. Councillor McGregor?
Just don't reiterate that, but I've already told Gary that's a really good report. Just in regards to the Canberra pool, is there any sort of conversation happening on days that are opening and so stuff like that, or is that just rolled over and we're doing that? I know we're called for lifeguards. So just update on that, thanks.
Yeah, through the mayor, if I recall, council's already resolved previously to the operating hours for this coming season.
Okay.
So there's no proposed changes at this stage.
Okay.
Thank you. Any further questions, discussion, councillor Waters?
The grant section is excellent, thank you.
Just through the mayor, so thank you. Obviously, this is the first report in this format to align with the service schedule. And it will probably evolve over time as staff get to understand the sort of level of information that we want. Matching the previous quarterly report to the new template, there's definitely some areas that have never been previously reported on. And we'll learn, so we'll probably evolve a bit.
So I think just like we do with Dave's reports and the financial ones is just put in a different colour so that we know any changes. That would be helpful, thanks.
Through the mayor, that'll be green every month.
How exciting, councillor Barber looks forward to it. Any further discussion on that item? At the risk of sounding like a broken record, I have in here amazing report. I love the information and I love the grant addition information. I'm wondering if we could have an extra column though in that as to council budget, just because I'm really excited that a lot of the grants that we've had is mostly government or third party and not actual council budget. So I think it would be great to be able to see that, and council I guess can watch that if it does start going 50-50 again, hang on, what's this doing? But yeah, I was super excited to read the report, so thank you to your team for such a great report. So if there's no further discussion or questions, we will put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that is carried. 11,
There you go.
11.2. Oh, yes. Would you
Yeah.
like to?
Yeah, thank you. I'll just press my button here. I have a material conflict of interest pursuant to section 75 of the Local Government Act 1999. My material conflict of interest is as follows. My partner is the president of the Manor Football Club. I will leave the meeting room, including any area set aside for the public, ensuring I cannot view or hear any discussion or vote at the meeting, and I will stay out of the meeting room while the matter is being discussed and voted on. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hurst. Okay, the recommendation is the Play Our Way project site location for the new female change room facility report on the council agenda be received. Council note and receive the submission summary report and the proposed site location for the new female change room facility at the Mount Oval be endorsed by council and the development application be progressed. We have a mover. Councillor Barber, thank you. Councillor Chilching, thank you. Councillor Barber, do you wish to speak on that?
I just wanted to say that, at least one of the submissions, it was, I think unfortunate that, yeah, they were raising a comment that didn't actually relate to the consultation, subject. Yeah, apart from that, yeah, all good.
Thank you. Councillor Chilching, do you wish to speak? No? Anybody else wish to speak? Have any questions, feedback on that item? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Again, that is carried. Thank you. This is exciting times.
Hey,
for the whole local.
Yeah.
Thank you, Clive. Thank you, Councillor Hurst. That motion was accepted as is. Okay, the 12.1, the recommendation is the Manor Golf Club improvements report be received, that council consents to proposed improvements to the Manor Golf Club located at 24 Douglas Street, Manor, by Manor Golf Club Incorporated, as per the details for fence and a shower toilet facility, subject to necessarily approval processes being undertaken, and the Manor Golf Club Incorporated is entirely responsible for the installation, maintenance and future replacement of the improvements. Do we have a mover? Councillor Todgett McPeak, Councillor McGregor is seconding that. Would you like to speak, Councillor Todgett McPeak? Fine, Councillor go down.
Yeah, just through the mayor. I did have a few questions just in regards to this, and also will be just to make sure that that shower and toilet's not going to be used for campers at the golf club, because the lease doesn't allow for camping. And I understand there's been conversation. I think maybe that lease might need to be further looked at so they can sort of do that. But at the moment, it'd be really great to get from the golf club that they don't intend to use that for camping, if they're getting breach of their lease.
Through Mayor Bailey, yes, we've confirmed that this is for workers and for cleaning after their work or chemicals, and it's no intention to be used for accommodation, and we'll reiterate and reinforce that.
Thank you. Any further questions? Would anyone wish to speak on that motion? Does anyone have any feedback? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that is carried. 12.2. The recommendation is the joint advocacy for the high productivity vehicle network / Greater Adelaide Freight Bypass report on the council agenda be received. Council supports being involved in the joint advocacy for high productivity vehicle network / Greater Adelaide Freight Bypass, and the mayor and the CEO be authorised to sign the joint advocacy letter as contained in attachment 1, item 4.2 council meeting to the relevant state and federal ministers and departmental heads. We have a move of Councillor Myers and Councillor Greener. Secondly, Councillor Myers, do you wish to speak?
Only to the point that, True Road people are, getting, what could I say, a little bit excited again,
Yes, yeah,
Good.
they are. Yeah, it's,
but they don't seem to be excited enough to commit to a working group, if you know what I mean. They used that one before. I suppose once bitten, twice shy. or-
and it's great to have 30 councils hopefully supporting this. McGregor.
Yeah, just through the minute, I was just going to say that I think if, regional councils, if it's going through just advocating, we need the adjoining parts to it and the local government down in that area. I think we went to a meeting 2 or 3 years ago now, I think, downtown, and the councils were sort of highlighting that they wanted to advocate for this, and so our way forward is in our collective, all talking with the same voice. Thank you.
We are stronger together.
Yes.
Councillor Davis, did you have something?
Just reiterating what Gracie said, like, I'm sure we'll be very happy that something's happening again. But yeah, one voice, we just all need to be on top of it and hopefully get it through.
Sorry. We have Councillor Schultz.
I was, when I read the letter and the motion, I was thinking it's a pity that we can't stipulate that should the extra funding occur, that the regional councils receive it, because I mean, I'm thinking of roads that need overtaking lanes and bypasses around small towns, and if it gets gobbled up by the metro councils, well, we're not in a very good position.
From my understanding, it's not funding as such, it's that the government put funding together and they do all of the work on this. So part of the whole strategy is all of those bypasses for the towns, or, you know, safety for the whole towns. There's a few stages, and if you click on the link in there, actually explains the stages. Which is good. So yeah, no funding going to councils, but the group will be,
Yeah.
although there might be some funding like our Truro $1 million that was promised if they get.
Yeah, well, no, what I was meaning was that additional funding is actually allocated to rural councils that really need it, like, not that rural councils get it, but it's put into rural council road, and overtaking lanes would be a really good thing.
Yeah.
Through Mayor Bailey, just we two comments. Department of Infrastructure and Transport has re-engaged with us around the Truro freight route. So that's a positive sign. So we'll have some meetings with them in the coming weeks. And also just a comment around the dark sky. And there may be an opportunity for us just to reinforce that any works that are undertaken within the dark sky that we would like that to be considered. So if I'll make that on the council.
Are you suggesting slight change to the motion?
No, that just if there's an opportunity that we will make a comment around that. Point 3 talks about engagement with local government and community throughout the planning and implementation phases. So that's probably where we would raise any points around what we want to make sure is considered.
Thank you, Councillor Barlow.
Yeah, I just had a comment that I'm hoping that the state and federal governments will commit to the extensive road upgrades that are required for this. I'm sure a lot of us are aware that the triple and quad trailers that are now using that road, I think it's on the verge of being dangerous the way it is, especially here at the crossing when they're going from the Manamara Bridge Road to the Sedan Road. Yeah, they've got to work out a better way for transition traffic through that area. So I just hope, and I hope that when that time comes, that all these other councils advocate for the regional councils to get that work done.
Thank you. Any further comments, discussion, what you want to speak on the motion? not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, it carries. 12.3. The recommendation is the LGA survey, state government review of accessible standpipes and water access report on the council agenda be received. The mayor and CEO be authorised to complete the local government of South Australia standpipe availability survey, taking into consideration the comments provided by the members. You have a move on. Councillor Project, thank you, seconder. Councillor Schultz, thank you. And wants to say something?
Through you, Mayor Bailey. Look, it's a very operational report, but given standpipes is topical for our council and the challenges we've had, although they're asking for just information around motion, there might be an opportunity for us to reiterate that SA Water should take responsibility for standpipes. Obviously, we're going through the process to automate it. We appreciate the state government's funding for that, but again, a service that council provides and is involved in that we not necessarily should be. So that's the only reason I've tabled here, other than the emotional side, which we can obviously deal with from an operational perspective.
Thank you. Councillor Project, Pete, you're a mover. Would you like to speak on it? No. Councillor Schultz, seconder. Anybody else wish to speak on it? I have any comments? Speak back. Councillor McGregor.
Yeah, just through the mayor, the only bit I sort of put down was, it's really great that they're doing this, but we could have probably done with this at an earlier stage. It's kind of late, but it's good that it's being done and sort of addressed.
I'll give you a background on it. I brought it up in Sarah many meetings ago, and it was marked as completed. And I said, how do you know what's going on? So, you know, they've been pushed against it.
Yes.
And I really hope councils involve themselves in it so that LGA is aware of all the things that regional councils do for our constituents that doesn't get done.
Excellent, thanks.
Any further questions, comments? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that is carried. 12.4. The recommendation is the review of flag management policy report on the council agenda be received. Council adopts the revised flag management policy version 4. Council endorses the community flag application form and the included assessment principles, and the CEO be authorised to make amendments of a minor and or technical nature as part of the finalisation of the flag management policy version 4 and amend the community flag application form as required. We have a mover. Councillor Davis, thank you. Councillor Subject Pete is seconding that. Councillor Davis, wish to speak on this? No, I haven't. We'll discuss this. Thank you. Councillor Subject Pete.
I think these changes are good and they make it much clearer and hopefully will be helpful. I just wonder whether at some point in one of the media newsletters or something like that, that comment could be made about that it's available now for people and that there's a clear process if people want to take the opportunity.
Good point.
Through me, Bailey, just to reiterate, the key change is around that local community involvement, because organisations outside, there may not be affinity for any of the requests that we have. So I think that's where we've come from. I think it's a positive step.
For sure. Thank you. Anybody else wish to speak on the motion? Or have any comments, questions, discussion? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that is carried. 12.5, review of council's membership. The recommendation has two parts. So I'll read the first one, the review of council's membership on the Murray-Darling Association Incorporated report on the council agenda be received. And then we can either go with council resolves to resign its membership of the Murray-Darling Association Incorporated and the CEO write to the Murray-Darling Association Incorporated on behalf of council and advise the council's decision to resign its membership of the Murray-Darling Association Incorporated, or council resolves to renew its membership of the Murray-Darling Association Incorporated for 25-26. Do we have a mover? Which one would you like to move? Councillor Myers?
I'll move the second part.
Second part, so council resolves to renew its membership.
Yeah, mainly because of the large amount of the river we have. It'd be different if we were like Corinda East Murray, we only had one or two right at the end.
Thank you. We have a seconder for the motions. Seconder. That's not touching it.
Can I just ask a question? We had a thought about, at one stage, about moving regions, and that's not in the motion, so this is just kind of question.
Would we like to suspend the meeting for 5 minutes to have a discussion on that? Is everyone happy with that? Just nod of heads if you're happy, we just think through it. Yeah, perfect. Okay, we will suspend for 5 minutes until 10:20 AM. Have a discussion. Okay, Ben, you wanna?
One point, obviously, our representative from the MDA, or the council representative on the MDA is not here, so that makes it somewhat challenging. But council asked me as part of a previous motion to write a paper. I've given some feedback. There's been some discussions on the value for that membership and what it means, that how effective the organisation is with the motions that are passed at annual general meetings or meetings. There was as part of the attachment to the report, there was information on that and the progress of different motions and the strategic plan that the organisation has in place. On the Region 5 versus Region 6, that's been a conversation that previous councils have had. And that's something that could be explored if the elected members wanted. I agree with Councillor Myers, this is really, the Murray is a significant asset for the region and the state and the country. And we have the largest portion of river out of any local government in South Australia. So the question for council's consideration is whether that association, whether our investment of around $3,000 has an appropriate return on investment. There's no question of the importance of the River Murray for council and for its community. It's just whether that is the right association to do that. And obviously the elected members can have those conversations and sure have opinions.
Councillor
Yeah, I guess it's come up in previous discussions about moving to Region 6 from 5. I'm just wondering what would the benefits be for Mid-Murray Council to move to Region 6?
From my side of things, like I've spoken to Mayor Fawley, who is in Region 6, there seems to be a lot more traction. You know, they put motions to AGMs and things like that. We're literally right in the middle of Region 5 and Region 6. So there has been a past where we were in Region 6 and then we shifted to Region 5. It's up to council, and that was my thought, is rather than just resigning, let's try a different region and see if we can get, you know, some more traction and advice through that region. But yeah, open to anyone's discussion.
What's the process from moving from one region to another?
We write to the Murray Darling Association and outline the reasons. We write to the region. I suppose my recommendation would be engage with that region first and care of that region to see whether there was some openness and understanding. So, opening dialogue in the first instance and then going through a formal process.
I think it's probably better doing it that way than saying, no, we don't want to be a member of the association entirely.
Should investigate. Does that have to be in motions, perhaps in lines?
I'll go back through the history a bit. I was the one that instigated the move from Region 6 to Region 5. Basically because of the continued trouble being caused by one person who was the next elected member of Mid-Murray Council. But I will state a region is only as good as the chair and its members. When I chaired Region 5, we had a lot of go. We used to go out and, you know, be positive. So whatever's happened since, I don't know.
I've got one more minute while the meeting's suspended.
I'm just, you know, our river is our front doorstep sort of thing, really important. And I know that we used to be in Region 5 about and all the
Mm.
historicals and things. My sort of concern is that the organisation as it sits now doesn't appear to be benefiting us. So staying in Region 6 with the, or Region 5 with the current, keeping that status quo, that's what doesn't sort of sit really well with me. So, maybe we need to look at moving back or ask for, please explain.
To Kevin's, Councillor Myers' point is then maybe the issue is not the regions, it's maybe the structure or the people.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect for the people involved, but maybe it's on councils that we should be maybe pushing this and seeing if we're not getting the best outcomes.
Yeah.
Then maybe that's what we need to step up and ask the right questions or make sure we are getting it to Kevin's point where it's been in the past.
That's 10:20, so we'll go back into the meeting unless there's enough people with another 5-minute discussion. So is everyone happy to go back to meeting? Yeah. Okay, so we have a motion on the table that we receive the report and resolve to renew membership in the MPA for 25-26. So we have a seconder for that motion. Councillor Fletcher. Councillor Myers, do you wish to speak on that motion?
Can we somehow add another point to the motion that we, I don't know, somehow investigate the structure of Region 5 and, I don't mean to say bang heads together, but, find out what is wrong.
Through Bailey, what I'm hearing is that there's some support, talking to the chamber on renewing, but we want to investigate or see whether it's the best outcome, and what role council can play in making sure that Region 5 is delivering outcomes for council. Is that fair?
Yeah.
So Laura, are we able to add a further point with the mover, on that?
Yes, so sorry, I'm kind of a bit lost as to the general. Is everyone happy with the fourth point being added? I think if we can just get a show of hands.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So the Chief Executive Officer be authorised to write to the Murray-Darling Association.
I think it's to investigate.
Yep.
The
I'll just investigate then.
Region 5, is that what you're saying? Or? So first point, Carol, would be review council membership, report be received. Second point would be council resolve to renew its membership of the Murray-Darling Association. And the third point, Chief Executive Officer and the delegate engage in conversations with Region 5 representatives. Well, what I'm hearing is that we want to make sure that Region 5 is working to.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not working properly and no one intends to make it work properly, go to Region 6. I mean, do you get minutes?
I've been to the last 3 meetings and I haven't seen, like, even the AGM, like, we didn't even have a quorum to begin with. The discussion was a bit, and so that's when I reached out to the delegate saying, how do you think this is working? Because the delegate was the one that really pushed that we remain, and they said, yeah, maybe it's not. So yeah, that's where I haven't started having discussions with people in Region 6 to see if, maybe that might be a better fit for us at this stage. But there is an opportunity next, I think the December meeting is meant to be held in the Mid-Murray region. So if council wanted to attend and, maybe put forward, even as a group, what our expectations are. I guess I can talk to the chair about that, because I think this is a motion for a delegate to continue leaving, so that might not be an opportunity for something to happen really soon.
I suggest then, so the mayor, the CEO and the MDA delegate, council MDA delegate. CEO and council MDA Region 5 delegate. Be authorised to engage in conversation with Region 5
And
And or regency.
Yeah.
One point was going to be to Region 5 around the future of the region or the effectiveness of the region, and then Region 6 as well.
See, there's a possibility that if Mid Murray were to go to Region 6, then other councils upriver are in the same boat where they're not getting any satisfaction. You might see a bigger move until somebody does something about it.
Maybe it's just the future of Region 5 regarding the future of the region.
can we ask
Or it could be,
some sort of report from Region 5 regarding what outcomes we've had in the Mid-Murray? Is that an effective option?
Yep.
I'm not sure what it would look like, but
Because we've done that with another group, haven't we? Yeah.
And maybe a further report come back to council, so then Ben can do that investigation after the
yeah.
report.
my advice to council would be that let's engage with Region 5 first,
Yeah.
and a further report come back to council.
So when is the membership due?
It's overdue.
Yeah.
I think council, what I'm hearing, they're comfortable in renewing their membership while we have these conversations.
I think so.
So, mover and seconder, are you happy with that extra point? The mayor, CEO and council's MDA Region 5 delegate be authorised to engage in conversation with Region 5 regarding the future of the region with a further report to be provided to council.
Is it about the future of the region, or is it about
Regional
Our
membership.
with the
the benefits of our membership?
Yeah, the benefits, regarding the benefits of our membership in the region.
Can we actually just add something that says regarding the future of the region? It's hard, it's moving. I'm sorry. Regarding the membership of the future of Region 5. Now I've lost my thing completely. With investigations of continuation or. I'm sorry, I lost my mojo trying to read it.
But is it about, we renew for
wanna-
1 year?
Yeah.
And during that time, we'll consider.
But there's
Yeah.
gonna be a future report from our council.
Okay. Yeah.
So will that
We'll bring that in
cover?
there.
So conversation with Region 5 regarding the benefits of our membership in Region 5?
Yeah.
With a further report to be provided to council
I'm saying of Region 5.
of Region 5. So, mover, are you happy with that extra addition? Seconder?
Yeah.
Are you happy? Yes.
Laura, are you happy with that?
Yeah, I just have a question because I'm just trying to capture the intent. Is it the benefits and the options of the membership of Region 5? Or is it are you just after the benefits of the membership?
I think it is just the benefits, because we're either going to be in or we're not. Those are the options.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you boil it down, we just really want to know, is Region 5 representing us? If they're not, why not?
Yes. Yeah. Perfect.
And I think that motion enables that conversation and a report come back to council to answer that question. Councillor Lyons.
So mover and seconder happy. Anybody else wish to speak on that motion? or have any further discussion, comments, feedback? If not, we will put that motion up. All those in favour? And again, that's carried. Thank you. 12.6. The recommendation is to report leaves received and Councillor Victoria Cullen be granted leave of absence for the period 30th of September to 18th of November inclusive. Do we have a mover for that? Councillor Walker, thank you. Councillor Barber, thank you. Councillor Walker, do you wish to speak?
I do, and this is not on Victoria's position. I'm more than happy for her to take the leave of absence. This is the first time I have done this. So I just was interested in knowing what conditions can be imposed, because in the end of the report says with conditions, if council puts conditions on. So I just wanted to know what type of conditions can be put on.
Through Mayor Bailey, obviously the discretion of council, but the types of conditions could be whether the member receives their allowance during that period of time, the specific period of time of the leave, the purpose and the reasons for the leave, and any obligations during that leave.
Thank you.
Councillor Barber, do you wish to speak? No, anybody else wish to speak? Yeah, Councillor Schultz.
Does anyone keep a record of how many meetings that members have attended?
Yes, and it's reported in annual report. Any further questions? Discussion? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? And against, that's carried. 12.7, the recommendation is the Chief Executive Officer's monthly report on the council agenda 21 October 2025 be received. On the mover. Councillor Davis, thank you. Seconder. Councillor Schultz, thank you. Councillor Davis, do you wish to speak? No, good, thank you. Councillor Schultz? No. Does anybody else wish to speak or have any questions, feedback, discussion on any of the items in the report? If not, we will put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that's carried. 12.8, motion action list. The recommendation is the motion action list report on the council agenda be received. Do we have a mover? Councillor Barber, Councillor Churchill, please. Councillor Barber, do you wish to speak? Councillor Churchill, please.
With the mayor. Yes, just on page 238, we're looking there at the CFS site leases, and the motion action list says that should be, I believe, sorted by now. And I'm just wondering whether we just need to change the date on that one if it hasn't come to fruition yet.
Just bringing up.
Page 238. Yes. What it was? Oh, yeah, in the bottom of page 238 or 208. And it just says target date changed to 21st of October. And I just didn't know whether it was still together.
Through the chair, no, it hasn't been sorted because the council didn't want to endorse any of the leases whilst we were going through the process.
Right, so do we need to just note that in there, because I've forgotten about that?
We can do that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what we, from an administration perspective, we want to progress them. The CFS want to progress them.
Yeah.
We've been contacted, but that was the guidance provided by council that they weren't comfortable. But to your point, the target date needs to be changed on that. Yes.
I can just. Okay, I think there are kind of, that's a consequence of the overall looking at all the leases, isn't it? Not just the CFS leases, it's sort of review of leases that council has, including these. It's just the only reason I'm saying this is because maybe a briefing discussion or something might be helpful there, because there are some possible knock-on effects of not sorting this with other things we're trying to do, maybe.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And that's why we tried to progress them. And so it's not part of the, so we're progressing the leases, or we've attempted to progress the leases in line when those leases run out.
Mhm.
But on a couple of occasions, there's been guidance to say that council is not open to progress leases while this process is
Yeah.
running.
Yeah.
So I agree, maybe we have a briefing to further discuss that, because it's obviously leases are running out. And we haven't, they've just been held over, which they can be held over,
Yeah.
because of the process that's occurring. That's my understanding anyway.
Yeah.
Happy to.
My
I misunderstood
recollection, my recollection that was that council asked for further information, and that's why we deferred it with a further reports to come back to council. We might have to go back and watch what happened, like you record these things. Councillor McGregor?
Yeah, just from my memory of it, that we were going to review the actual lease policy and sort of how that sort of looked as well. And I think that was going to be brought to a briefing or as a report. I can't remember, that will be on a forward agenda, I'd say.
Yeah, take that on notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. Any further discussion or anyone wish to speak on the motion action list? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Yes, that's carried. Yeah. 13.1. We have a motion here. Well, there has been a lot of discussion, and I know elected members did receive an email from someone from Blanchetown, so I'm wondering if, with elected members' approval, we seek leave of meeting for 15 minutes to have a discussion on this item. If you just nod heads if you're happy with that. Perfect. Okay, so 10:36, we'll have a 15-minute discussion. Go for it, councillor.
As it stands now, I would like to move the motion with Ackland Street removed,
I agree.
because that block's got a lot of history. A lot of it's not good history of deals and that were tried to go through in past time. But when it boils down to the end of the day, it's the only piece of sort of land left that the community wants. I mean, they don't have a riverfront like any other town. I mean, they're so over the moon at the moment to see a little bit of lawn down Stage Drive.
Absolutely, yeah.
But for an area where a houseboat can pull up and people go and use the pub or the takeaway shop, it's the only place where they can go.
Yeah, my concern when I saw this block of land come in this report was that council over the last 3 years have built up so much trust with that Blanchetown community. We're getting really good feedback, and if we leave something like that in, it'll be similar to the block of land that was at Canberra. All we're going to do, we know what the feedback's going to say. So maybe, if we can pull it out and have that discussion and even work on whether we need a policy or something to say, what are we going to do when we've got, so that land at Canberra, we just pulled it out, and then what's happened, it's just sitting there. How long are we going to leave it inactive when the community wants to activate it? Can we do like what we've done with Boy Hill and have a maintenance agreement to say, hey, look, we're happy to try and source funding or help you or whatever. I think we need a plan. Because just pulling it out isn't going to help the situation, because in 4 years' time, we'll be in that same situation where there's a new council that wants to look at it again. I think it'd be good to move on from there and those other things. You've got your Mogas side at Truro.
And the other thing to take note, a lot of people in the room would know, the mayor does, that at the AGM, you had new people come into that room. And we've had one meeting since the AGM, and these new people have come with a 5-year plan
It's
for
very
the town, which is never been seen in the past.
It's very exciting for Blanchetown. So yeah, my concern was something like this would just bring in all that negativity that, but we haven't seen for a while, which has been really great. So, any further discussion?
Mine is actually not on the Blanchetown block, I agree with Kevin. But the Angus Valley Road parcel of land at Sanderston. I'm just trying to get my head around exactly where this is. It's on the northern side of Angus Valley Road.
Trying to work it out too.
Yeah, and is is it on the western side of Three Chain Road or on the eastern side of Three Chain Road? Because I can't visualise any quarry there whatsoever.
And Vicky help. No, I'm on Google, up on the link. And it shows you on Google.
The
Maps
link
where
doesn't
it is.
work on ours.
Yeah, because yours.
It
is
doesn't work.
spreadsheet.
No,
No, it's because ours is PDF.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Alright.
this time I made sure the links work. Now I'm disappointed.
Sorry.
So you double check.
Yeah, no, definitely don't. I want to.
Okay.
And I'm asking that because I don't want to be caught short again like
Yeah.
with the other one.
Well, you know, and I was in 2 minds about the plant stamping because we are only going to consultation and we do know that 25 people write in and council will, you know, we know that we think about things and don't necessarily go with what we're told or asked, but we listen to communities, so. I guess depends on how strongly you feel about that. We can just go to consultation and we've got past evidence that we do change our minds once we have that feedback from the community. I just thought with the clients and the relationships that we've built over this time, that I just didn't want to smash all of them by going out to consultation on something we already know what the answer is. But if nobody's mentioned the sense law, what's your thoughts? Just leave it in. And
We'll leave it in, but I'd like to eyeball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we're looking.
That's it there, councillor Schultz.
Yeah, so it's just if we are right, it's right on the, okay, and Three Chain Road is back that way. I've got it.
forward.
Yep, yeah, I've got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
done.
you.
Yeah.
Sorry, got an ear problem.
Can't hear that was here at the moment.
Oh, so while we're out of meeting, does anyone else in council agree?
Yeah, so, my concerns are more around, what we sort of said that we we're going to do and a motion that we were going to develop a land rationalisation strategy. Now, it may be terminology, it may be expectations are sort of different, but that was in 2024, early in the year, for a 6-month with that document would be developed. And I have brought that to Ben's attention and there's a few sort of issues regarding that. So we haven't we've got a motion on the table that says we develop that, and we haven't developed that in that format. Is that the best format to develop a strategy, or do we need another document? Obviously, Vicky's working really hard, and it would be really great to make her job easier to have that direction, which is what I thought that we were doing by having that land rationalisation strategy. But please correct me if I'm wrong as to where we go.
So through the chair, so at Land, we have developed a strategy and the strategy is being presented to council. It's not a document. So the framework to categorise and identify parcels of lands to be potentially divested has occurred. And so that's where these reports have been presented to council. I think that potentially a question and having a conversation with Mayor Bailey on what we do if we don't divest the properties. Is that potentially what you're asking?
Well, yeah, because I just think we need to know, what happens, moving forward. Of course, if we can divest, then we can, but if we can't, for whatever reason, what happens next in that? And I don't know.
Is when we get to the briefing and we have the forward agenda, whether we add something to the forward agenda to have a briefing on, that will give staff the time to think about, what they could present to us about how to go on from this process.
So Gary and I have had a conversation. So Gary, do you want to talk about the options?
Yeah, through the mayor. So basically there's a couple of options to consider in terms of, we've got a large sort of strategic plan in our open space public realm plan, which sort of sets the broader strategic direction around open space land. We've got our community land management plans, which some of the lands are actually addressed by those and some are not. And equally then we've got our now tourism precinct planning project underway, where we'll be developing master plans for 11 of our townships and some of our other tourism assets. So some of these parcels of lands could be addressed through that project. Equally, through the new community action planning replacing the old district action plans. Again, we pick up some of those assets in terms of what the community want to see happen with that land going forward. So I think a mixture of those current and proposed projects, we can come up with a direction of where council wants to see, improvements made based on community feedback.
The Mayor Bailey's point is that we can do a briefing, present the options of how we manage, because as far as clarifying my, Councillor McGregor, is there's a strategy to the vest, which we've worked through and we're sending that to councils for their consideration. It's what happens if you don't. And that's not about rationalisation because you're making decisions on divesting or not. It's about what happens to them if you don't. And when you activate them, and that's where Gary's comments around where they fit within a plan or a policy is something we can have a conversation with them.
Yeah, if I can just comment, I mean, I think we're talking about just having records that people can refer to in the future that say this was looked at X time. So it's just having that history somewhere that everybody knows where it is. So in whatever form it takes. I mean, I have to say that I think this discussion triggered by the email from the Blanchetown crew is exactly what this community consultation is all about.
Yes.
Straight away, we know this bit of land really matters to the community, like at Cambrai, their beauty spot, exactly that. And we responded and said, of course, we're not divesting of that because it's important to you. So to me, it's just the correct process at work. And then if we add in a note where we don't divest and that's kept for posterity, then we don't have this problem of it recurring like it just did.
So we're still out of meeting procedures. Is everyone done on the discussion and which way ahead? If so, we will commence formal proceedings from here. It's not a hesitant to happen with that. Perfect, thank you. So we have a motion there. Councillor Myers, would you like to do something?
Yeah, as I said, I'll move the motion with Ackland Street removed.
Great.
See the lines through it.
Yep.
So Blanchetown will be happy with that.
Thank you. Would anyone like to second that? Councillor Davis, thank you. Would you like to speak on that?
Thank you.
You're in there.
All right, Kelly.
Wonderful, thank you. Would you like to speak, Councillor Davis? Anybody else wish to speak? Councillor Todgett?
Yeah, I just had a look at having a look at the timeline, just noted that with the proposed timeline for looking to divest in tranches with a 2-month break for consultations, and then we know the minister can take up to 12 months with each, that we are looking at actually a 6 to 7 year process. If we don't speed up in some way, it would be nice to speed it up in some way, notwithstanding I agree that you can overload people. That might be my maths wrong. But
6 to 7 years.
yeah, with up to 85 potential properties, that whole process, if it takes 8 months per tranche and we're not overlapping them very much, might not end up being that much, but it could be.
Just to clarify, sorry.
No,
Three minutes.
yeah,
Bailey, and I'll ask Vicky to make a comment. So my understanding was we were just spreading them out by 2 months to enable that, and so then the next tranche would happen.
Yeah.
So realistically, you're
So-
stretching it out by 6 months.
so how, okay, so my sums are wrong, but it would still take a fair amount of time. I can't work it out.
Yeah,
now.
and look, it's probably it's a 2-year process. If it's taking 12 months for,
Yeah,
because
well, let's say
correct me if
2.
I'm wrong, Vicky, but like 2 months for tranche 1, and then we do another tranche, we do another tranche, and if
Okay.
there's 6 tranches, that takes say 6 months or a year.
Yeah.
And then you add a year on
Subject
from
to-
the last one to the minister.
Subject to the ministers, all right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't want to categorically say, because there's obviously an election coming and we might have a different
Yeah,
minister.
yeah.
But
Go to the minutes.
Yeah,
Every 2
yeah.
months.
every 2 months, so not.
We're not
making
waiting
it-
for 12 months.
No, we're not waiting 12 months to then
Okay,
give
good.
it to the minister again and give it to the minister.
Yeah.
Not sure we're going to be that popular. And one of the concerns we mentioned in the report is around consultation fatigue as well. So we want to make sure that we're not, that's the only reason why we've suggested spreading it out.
Yeah, though one of the points I will make is that people look, do I know any of these? And as soon as they know, that's what they're interested in, not the rest. So, you know, it may. I mean, I'm not unhappy with the 2-month periods, so, but we may find that it goes quite smoothly because we'll instantly pick out the ones that matter to the community and on we go. Thank you.
Further discussion, questions, comments, feedback on this item? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that is carried. Yeah. 14.1, the recommendation is the minutes of the Mid-Murray Council Assessment Panel meeting held on 15th of September be received, and the minutes of the meeting held be received, the report be received. Yes, councillor McGregor is moving that, and councillor Schultz is seconding that. Who wishes to speak? No, who wants to speak?
No.
Anybody else wish to speak or have any questions? If councillor Barber?
Yeah, I just had a question. There's been some issues for some people up along to make my present. And last I heard, there was waiting for a decision to be made by this committee as far as what the outcome of those issues were. I'm wondering if that's been progressed any further.
Through the mayor, the applicant has been given, requested to provide some additional information. The applicant is still yet to provide that to continue the assessment.
Gary, councillor McGregor?
Oh, I speak, is that it?
Yes, he moved it. Does anyone else wish to speak before councillor McGregor sorts it all out?
Okay, just a little through the mayor, there's a little bit more information there. There was an email from the residents of the present to the planning area, and they got a reply, which I was CC'd into, and that's updated them as to what was happening.
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, we will put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that is carried. Yeah. 14.2. The recommendation is the minutes of the CEO Performance Review Committee meeting report be received, the minutes be received, and the revised CEO Performance Review Committee Terms of Reference version 2 as endorsed by the CEO Performance Review Committee be adopted by council. We have a mover. Councillor Tochick-Pete, thank you. Councillor Warhurst is seconding that. Councillor Tochick-Pete, who wish to speak? No. Councillor Warhurst, no. Anybody else wish to speak? Have any questions? Discussion, feedback? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Hence, that is carried. 15.1, the recommendation is the monthly report on the council, the mayor's monthly report on the council agenda 21 October be received. We have a mover. Councillor Davis and Councillor McGregor is seconding that. Councillor Davis, do you wish to speak? Thank you. Councillor McGregor.
Well done, that's also makes me exhausted looking at it.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions on anything I attended or discussion? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that is carried. Elected member reports. The recommendation is the elected members monthly report on the council agenda be received. There's a mover. Councillor Barber, thank you. Seconder. Councillor McGregor, thank you. Councillor Barber, do you wish to speak? Councillor McGregor, do you wish to speak? Councillor Tochick-Pete.
Just one amendment, I wasn't able to attend the Man and Progress Committee.
Any further discussion about the orders?
I would also just like to note that I also attended the public briefing on the riverboats at the Madam Dot Museum as well.
You did, I know.
I did. Didn't make the list though.
Any further questions, comments, discussion? If not, we'll put that motion up. All those in favour? Against, that is carried. Motions with notice, they're a nil. Questions with notice, they're a nil. Questions without notice of the strategic nature, do we have any? We've all talked too much today, have we? Confidential reports are nil. The next meeting will be held at the Canberra Council Chambers, Main Street, Canberra at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday, the 18th of November, 2025. I declare the meeting closed at 10:54 a.m. Thank you, and thank you, Laura, for attending, being our support person.